Well, that was a little bit peculiar. It kept. Oh look, she's only got that. Ha ha. Half a wingtips. Look, that's what it's supposed to look like. That. How crazy is that? Let me put this in its holster now. Just wasn't liking the orientation. There we go. There we go. There we go. So there she is, folks. Um, it's not sort of official like with it's not official like it is with Virgin Atlantic, where Virgin have obviously named all of their header planes. Um, but Captain Dave, when he was flying the A380, he basically took all the. Oh, look at that over there! He took all of the all of the registration. Sorry, yeah, well, the reg, yeah, and the last three digits, Lima Echo Kilo, for instance, this one, and gave them all names. This one is the Dalek, um, and so on and so forth. Look over there, man. Interesting. Wow. Okay. I think that's. Is that? Anyway, whatever. I wish I had my dongle. My hands are a little bit shaky this morning. Uh, Thank you, everybody, for your kind words. Good show yesterday. Getting a lot of response on. We're getting a lot of response on the extra channel, which people are enjoying because it's basically you're able to follow us on the day-to-day sort of like comings and goings of Big Jet TV. Not every day, but when we're able to do it, we will do it. I'm just looking there. Unfortunately, because of the shakiness. Wait, let me just do this. See the undercarriage there? You see that giant spring? Can you let me hold it? See the giant spring there on the undercarriage, mate? That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, that is literally like an aid to help it sort of fold in on itself, that particular strut, because they're obviously articulated, all these well, not articulated, but they are the struts are all have um, how is it when you were, it's still very early in it. It was the always remember it in technical drawing where you have linkages which um, it's a very sophisticated but very simple and at the same time way of creating something that folds in on itself and in reverse can be extended, which is basically what that undercarriage is. Connor Hickey, 27 ops. Only seeing a few comments. Good morning. Yes, it is very early. It is very early. I think I don't even think we've got flight crew on this aircraft yet because I can see the sheepskin seat covers. You can see the sheepskin seat covers. But there she is. Let's hope she. I don't know what her. And as you can see, she only has only literally got the lower section of her wingtip. So and they are detachable. The wingtip fences. It's called a wingtip fence, and it's a giant version, basically, of the A300's wingtip fence, and also the older A320 wingtip fence. I'm just trying to think whose that is over there. Whose is that? Start up. That's nice. So we're at Terminal 5, obviously, folks, right opposite the yeah, Beverly George. That's been missing for ages. Yeah, because obviously it's something that can only be fitted when the aircraft is in maintenance for quite some time. It's not either that or they have to take it out of service, and you know that you got to weigh it up, and you got to weigh up the cost of taking this thing off the out of service, taking it out of service, the amount of money that will cost you. Um, so the best thing they can do is just wait until a situation arises where they've got her in the maintenance hangar for at least a few days, and then they can spend the time to do that. Um, Interesting to observe the wing almost twisted from this angle. You can see the wing almost twisted, and those big giant Trent 900s, man, and they beautiful. See, only one side there is a vortex generator, and it's very clever, isn't it? Because when we see these things take off, we've seen it so many times before, but you see the vortex pouring over the wing, which is redirected over the wing rather than under the wing, because it's obviously disruptive airflow, I would imagine. And as you can see, there are only one on each engine. What I'm talking about is the splitters or the vortex generators. See the fin on the engine there? That's what I'm talking about. It's the vortex generator. Still being catered. I'm on the upper deck. Seat 62, I think it was. Was it? Hold on a minute. Let me just have a look. 61J. Okay, 61J. That's the right. That's going to be on the right-hand side of the aircraft. So it's going to be this side, and it's going to be the one next to the window. Now, in a case like this, I will always take the opportunity to try. Is that the Brunei? Is that Royal Brunei? That 747. That's what I'm trying to think of now. It's the Royal Brunei jet, I think. Thank you, everybody, for your kind words. I'm sure we will have a safe flight. Oh, go around, go around. Looks like yeah, so, oh, it's the United jet still on the runway. Looks like a Neo 339, or is it? Yes, it is. I think it is. To be honest with you, that's not what you want at this time of the morning, is it? You want to just get home. Um, of course, one of the other things that every day's a school day. Every day's a school day for me in terms of learning. Um, the wing on the 380 is so massive because they predicted creating a longer variant of the 380. Initial plans were to do that. So, but Airbus being Airbus, obviously, they've done it before with the A330 and the A340-300, um, and went ahead. Oh, there's our little fire engine. Look, there he is. He's still doing the rounds, isn't he? Look, there he is. He's got a hose wrapped up in the back of that thing. Apparently, that is half a mile long, or something crazy like that. It's a long half a mile's a long way, man. I mean, Yeah, you know, probably. Yeah, I don't know if that's possible. Is it even? Is it? I'll have to double check that. It's either that or it's like 500 yards or something like that. Mind you, 500 yards is almost half a mile, isn't it? I don't know. So again, thank you as always for my taxi service, Jilly, getting up this morning early to bring me to the airport. All the much appreciated always, because it is crazy o'clock, man. Up at 4:45 today, I think it was. Um, yeah, it was 4:45. I set the alarm for 5 o'clock, and then I woke up at 4:45, and that was it. It's no point in that. Oh, I've got another 15 minutes. Put my head down for 15 minutes. Hanging around, is it? Old grey whistle test. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the old grey whistle test. Tonight we have a new band that's sweeping the nation. Weather in Miami is, as it is always, sunny, warm, but expecting um, stormy cells coming in. So we're expecting a little bit of thunder and lightning. See the big split rudder on the A380. Let's clearly see it now, and see the elevators in the down position. That's more or less because there's no hydraulic system, no hydraulic pressure to keep the elevators up in the upward position. Interestingly, the split rudder assembly, there's a couple of reasons actually. One is as a redundancy system, so that if they were to lose one or two engines, the to counteract the swing, and this would all be computer generated as well. That when I say computer generated, from the input of the pilot, the aircraft very clever flight management system will. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Um, Lowland, and maybe the tender to fill from hydrants. Yes, I think you're right there. But she's being retired apparently. So apparently we're full. The flight is full today. Um, I think they are either in the process of fueling her, or certainly in the process of catering her. That's for sure. Stand 564, gate 64. No, Doe and Co. Uh, Interestingly enough, I'm not sure. Doe and Co. Just the catering, isn't it? Now you talk about the freight. You see the freight that's going on, folks. Obviously, that's some of that. Those cans there. That's individual freight cans there. That I don't think is baggage yet, but you can clearly see there those pallets with loose freight, but it's obviously strapped down with netting, and covered as well to make sure it doesn't move around in flight. You see the instruments, uh, masts at the front there. Angle of attack sensors. They almost seem like angle of attack sensors on the lower section of the on the upper section of the nose there. But certainly the one um, below the pilot's window there, you've got um, pitot tubes, pitot sensors, and also and there's two, one for each pilot as well. So there's a redundancy system there as well. and the angle of attack sensors. Um, yeah, see all the masts on the top of the aircraft as well there, folks. See all the masts on it. Wi-Fi up there on the back there, I think. But all of these masts that you see the little humps, the little bumps as well. See, she's got such a wide body that she needs two beacon lights on her roof as well, which is quite interesting. Um, but there are quite a lot of sensors and uh, Phil Sky off to Manila in 3 weeks. Looking forward to that. We are estimated departure 9:40. Dumb question. I think that was Rab asking. What is LEK? LEK is the last three digits of the registration. Lima Echo Kilo. We went over that yesterday. You can also see it on the undercarriage doors as well, the front undercarriage doors, and also it's on the tail thing as well. Oh, Rob H, that was Rob. Sorry. Wow. Jonathan Smith changed to Dublin with pre-clearance twice. I got caught in Miami on BA with 3 to 4 hours wait. Oh dear. You know what? A stopover at an airport is not actually such a bad thing, especially if we, at an international, a big international airport, like Seattle or something like that. You're always going to have things to look out at and things to watch. In fact, I've got I've got automatic entry into all of the into the lounges now with British Airways. So I quickly nipped up there to grab some food and then came down here because the views out of the business lounge is certainly nothing like what they are here. So um, I just used the opportunity to go and get some beans, hash browns, and mushrooms. Set me up. Did hear actually that apparently, because you do wonder, don't you? Flying at this time in the morning, what are they going to serve? Are they going to serve breakfast or are they going to serve brunch? Because we're taking off, we'll probably be wheels off ground around about 10 o'clock, I would imagine. 9:40 is the estimated departure time. But they're never on time. Well, I say they're never on time. They always arrive either slightly early or a little bit late. And that all depends on what happens at the other end as well. Sometimes you could be sitting somewhere like New York, for example. You could be sitting out there for ages waiting for the gate to open up. But generally, every aircraft that departs, in terms of the scheduled departure time, you can add probably a good 20 minutes on there. Paulie is a new member. Welcome, Paulie. 61J is indeed an aisle seat, and I will be asking the person in the seat um, who's in the window. First of all, I'll check them out in terms of see whether they're the kind of person that you would want to approach, because some people are just very sort of I don't like talking to people on the plane. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I mean, obviously, when me and Jilly have travelled, we have a chat if maybe, but generally just keep myself to myself. She's on her headphones, I'm on my headphones, and that's generally what I do. I find it amazing. Isn't it amazing sometimes when you get on a plane and there's people chatting away like they just met each other. You know, it's like, I mean, just like, and they're always so loud as well. This should be my alarm, really, shouldn't it? The one that's coming past us now. Rant alert! Rant alert! Warning! Rant alert! Yeah, too right, mate. It is. It is almost like it's either that or the it's either that or it's um a very posh lady talking about her daughter's wedding and what they did, and you basically end up knowing exactly all the ins and outs of the wedding because she's shouting it across the cabin. That's what these things are. Look, 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 look. Get yourself a set of these, folks. Um, they are noise cancelling, and they. I could put them on now, and you literally only hear a very faint background, sort of like very, very faint. They're amazing at noise cancelling, I have to say. Um, oh yeah, here we are. Yeah. I don't know the logo. Jilly will tell you. Yeah, just basically look for that on Amazon. Just search noise cancelling headphones. They're not cheap, but they're not massively expensive either. You know, like they're not silly money. Yeah, I would seriously. I was talking about it yesterday. Always comes that go around, isn't it? Um, seriously, talking about it yesterday in terms of when I fly. Um, when I fly, I always have to have a good set of headphones because earplugs don't really do it for me because they're quite uncomfortable, aren't they? Um, Especially ones you screw into your ear as well. Beautiful sky, man. Look at that. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. Paulie Paulie with his or her dog. There we go. Julie's saying Soundcore by Anchor Q30. Steph, yes, they are Bluetooth. Stephen Whitnell, just remember, the cargo at the back of the stand will be loaded first. Yes, um, and then of course, the baggage will. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that you see the darker alloy on the engine pylon. I'm pretty sure that they are retrofit later editions. You can see it on more clearly on that one over there. Look, that paneling there on the. I'm pretty sure when the aircraft were originally delivered, that those panels, they've obviously found that some of them have not so much corroded, but it's better to put an alternative material on there. Maybe titanium. That may be titanium to mold that stuff is or to fabricate that stuff is extremely complex. Okay, freight door, forward um, freight door, belly freight is. I always remember when a 380 first came into service. It wasn't that long after that quite a few of the operators realised that the 380 has a terrible capability of carrying freight in the belly. In fact, I think that the 777, believe it or not, has more capability of carrying freight than the 380. And partially the reason for that is look how big that wing is, number one. And number two, look how much space the undercarriage takes up in terms of the undercarriage bay. And the wing is so big that all of the air conditioning packs and all that kind of all the stuff that goes into the air conditioning systems is actually fixed inside the wing. Earbuds. It's one thing I never got on with was earbuds. Now here comes the baggage. This is the baggage, or some of it, maybe. Um, yeah, earbuds, can't get on with them because it's like, oh, look at the jet just come out of the cul-de-sac, the famous cul-de-sac where the collision occurred between the Virgin jet and BA's jet, which, okay, looks like the caterers are done. These are the trucks that we see driving around the perimeter road, and you will do around most international airports as well. I am facing east. There's some freight going on. Look. Now you can see how sophisticated the systems are now. Um, a lot of it obviously automated. That's being pulled on there by the operator that's on the lift there. However, that vehicle as well will have systems to be able to push it, and then as soon as it is partially on the receptive side of it, it will be then pulled. Departure will be out of runway 27 left. Still no flight crew on the aircraft. Looks like we've got a new member there. Penny Bateman is a returning member. Welcome back, Penny. Thank you, Franchetti. Oh no, it's not, is it? Wait a minute. It's Frenchy TJ. Franchetti. Sorry. I got you. I got you. I got you. I am on the upper deck today, folks. 61J, which puts me in an aisle seat, which I don't have a problem with because I'm in a exit row, which basically means I've got nothing in front of me. I've just got a bulkhead so I can stretch my feet out when I want, instead of having to sort of like, negotiate the underside of the seat in front of you. And there's no one to put their seat down in front of you either. Ian Claydon, yes, indeed. The wingtip fence, the upper section is indeed missing, as I pointed out right at the beginning of this little stream. It will cause a certain amount of aerodynamic drag, but not a huge amount. But if you were to leave the wingtip off for the duration of the rest of its life, then it would obviously be detrimental. I think that's. Did anyone confirm that that's the Brunei? Is that Royal Brunei's flight over there? Sky the Springer. Yeah, not going to get. I'll video the departure if I can, but it all depends on the person who's sitting in the window seat. If I'm able to blag it and they don't mind moving, unless they've specifically requested a window seat, in which case I may well get told to sod off in a polite way. No, you're all right, mate. Thanks. Oh, well, never mind. But the first thing I'll be doing is when you are boarding. Oh, I don't know though, actually thinking about it, looking at this, that might be the upper deck. Yeah, this upper deck boarding. Yeah. Jilly's not flying with me, folks. Ice hockey Frank, is that? Oh, okay. Ice hockey Frank arrived back from Hanover on Sunday, the 8th of December, and you filmed my plane landing. Was that the Windy show? Jimmy G always goes for a window seat, an aisle seat, 3 inches, and I like to stretch out. Well, that I would always go for an exit row rather than an aisle, because that doesn't automatically mean that you're going to be able to stretch your legs even if you are in an aisle, because you know it does. Some people like to stretch their feet out into the actual aisle itself, which is a trip hazard. See the chucks there, folks? Chocks right down there. Isn't it crazy? Keeping the whole thing, steady. Still no flight crew. So loosely packed freight on this jet, going in the front and in the back. All up 500 tons if you want it, but interesting how this aircraft will continue on. I think, to be honest with you, into many of ours lifetime. Emirates saying that they're going to be operating their A380s through till as far on as 20 um, was it 2035 or something like that? Kevin Ducker's given a shout out to whoever gifted the membership. Very much appreciated. Well, all members, folks. Um, a member of crew went on the floor back from JFK with a bucket of ice in her hands, with a passenger having their foot out in the aisle. Yeah, there you go. Um, I just find that quite amazing that you would put your. I mean, some people are very tall, and obviously it's quite uncomfortable, so they have to sort of like open the, their knees are out in the aisle and that kind of thing. You got to obviously be aware of things like that when you're walking through the aisle. Sometimes I get up and have a walk round just to stretch my legs, and you need to be aware that people are sort of like leaning into the aisle, elbow into the aisle, that kind of thing. I generally tend to keep myself compact as much as I can, in order that I don't get disturbed, because there's nothing worse than you know the other one other thing that can occur, which I've had occur a couple of times actually, is the person behind you, when they're getting out of their seat, they grab your seat to um, uh, 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 to pull themselves up, or do the opposite when they're getting into their seat. I actually had to tell a bloke, I had to tell him, mate, can you not grab the back of my seat when because you've woken me up. Fortunately, he was very apologetic, But mate, you got to think of things like that when you're traveling on a plane. You're traveling with other people. You got to be aware of what's around you and all that kind of thing. Because you know, like if you're fast asleep and you've managed to get asleep on a plane, which let's face it, is not the easiest thing in the world. Um, and then some idiot goes and sort of like bangs the back of your seat or something. I've had that before. Oh my god, I've had that before. Um, it's worse, isn't it, when you've got because these screens, yeah, you can see what it's like flying on a plane with me. I'm telling you, these screens. Oh my god, I had some woman behind me, um, obviously going through the menu on the touch screen, but instead of like gently tapping the screen, she was like doing that on the screen, like, and I just had to I, I gave it one of those big sort of like turn around huff sort of like things, and then it happened again, and I did it again, and she was like, "Ooh," and I was like, "Well, ooh yourself." Imagine if you're, I mean, have you ever been waterboarded, love? Have you ever had anyone tapping the back of your head for the best part of 2 hours? Good job the Karen emoji's not on this channel, isn't it? Johan asking for me to zoom in on the wing. Which portion of the wing, Johan? Wing tip, which we've established. She's only got half a wing tip. Wing fence, that is, of course. Look at the size. Now the catering trucks have gone. Now you can see the size of the wing itself. Look how deep that wing is, folks. Now you can see why they store so much inside that valance there. Of course, the wing valance is the big white section of it, which you can see extends back, and that's obviously also, um, behind those panels are a lot of ancillary pumps and things like that. But what is interesting is that on the Boeing jet, kind of can't see it from here, but we did look at that beautiful wingtip over the 350 wingtip. But what is interesting is the 777. You see the back end of the 777. You look aft of the wing, see the valance, on the body of the aircraft where the wing fixes to the aircraft. The A350 has a very clever additional extension of the wing in a funny sort of way. Um, don't know if I can pick it up on that Virgin Jet stand pilot. Doubt it very much. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. No, it's too far away. Dave Earl, how much does the wing weigh without the engines? That's, that I would not know. um, Quite a lot, to be honest with you, because it's obviously a very strong, integral part of the aeroplane. Of course, don't forget that you've got the wing spars as well, which literally are the strengthening part of the wing. More of the baggage starting to arrive now. 10-hour, 10-minute flight to Miami, China. The Harley one. Karina took off passengers for being belligerent. Blimey. Seems to happen a lot, I have to be honest with you. Certainly in America, that's for sure. You know, with all the there are 4 electrical cables connected to the ground power, 2 on each side. They are heavy. Oh yeah, that's what he's talking about, the ground power unit there, folks. Um, they are heavy, the connectors. That's why they use those little access steps. And that, of course, a very clever articulated system. And of course, that all costs money. You know, British Airways have to pay BAA or Heathrow Airport and its many subsidiaries a charge for everything. Everything that you need done gets charged for. So a little bit of manual work there going on with that container. Maybe he's going to shift that one forward. There we go. Give it a push, mate. Give it a push, son. Go on. There we go. And once it gets moving, as you can see, it's caught up. It gets anchored on the electrical feed. Now it's turning, as you can see there. Now that's what he's doing. That the geezer next to the plane, he's controlling those containers and how they move. So now you can see they are in the shape of the belly of the aircraft, angulated to fit the contour of the aircraft. And of course, the contour is squared off more so than it is rounded off. Joanna, you won't see Pinky towing any containers, that's for sure. Highly unlikely, I would have thought. Yeah, still no flight. Oh, we've got flight crew on board now. We have flight crew. There is someone on board the aircraft. Of course, they've been through all the pre-flight briefing in the before they've got on the aircraft. Now it's just a case of plugging in the iPad. And all the flight data or flight navigational stuff will all be preset into the flight management computer. They'll obviously double check and triple check that with the numbers that they get from the fueling guys as well, um, in terms of the amount of weight of fuel been been pumped into the aircraft, which will probably be in the region of about 100 tons, 100 to 110 tons, I would have thought, something like that, distributed throughout the wing. I don't think the 380 uses the horizontal stabilizer tails, the back tail tanks. Sorry, I don't think they use the rear tanks on the 380. I think that was another thing that was possibly designed or added into the design of the aircraft for the long haul variant of the A380 that never happened. Crew members, or are you talking about flight crew, or are you talking cabin crew? Sarah, this is LEK Lima Echo Kilo. Wow, 1 a.m. for Karina. Fair play. There we go, Rumi confirming roughly 25, including flight crew, which will be a normally it's obviously they only need 2 flight crew, but I think they take a maybe take a backup with them. There's been many times when I've flown on the 380 and there've been 3 pilots up front, a couple of captains and an SFO, or maybe a check captain, or whoever, whatever. Beautiful weather. Johan, yes, there we go, less than 1%. But 1%, when you consider that over a period of time, that's quite an excessive fuel burn, isn't it? You've got to think about the practicalities of it. So they'll be obviously Airbus are unable to fabricate a new wingtip. I don't know. Maybe they would be able to. I'm not sure where the wingtip for the 380 was actually fabricated, whether it was even at um, uh, Toulouse. I'd imagine that it's a third-party piece of equipment which possibly can be retro manufactured as a one-off, or because it's not the sort of thing that you would expect there to be like lots of spares of. But yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Because is it raining where you are, Jilly? Because there's some, looks like some rain approaching, or moving across the eastern side of the airfield. Staines is sunny, raining East London. Richard, thunderstorms in Miami tomorrow. Yeah, going to see some pretty cool cloud formations, some beautiful uh, cityscape shots as well. All that kind of stuff depends on operations. I know what operations they're on at the moment. Um, Hopefully, they'll be landing right to left on that runway, the diagonal runway opposite me. Mad Chicken Lady, 26 cabin crew on the A380 on with Etihad. Oh, there we go. Look at that tiny 7. A380 wingtips are made by Ruag in Switzerland. Wow. So therefore, they will be able to have one. If they don't have one in spares, they probably, I would imagine they probably had a couple made, haven't they? Seeing as They've had two destroyed. Of course, I'm wondering whether the 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 fin was actually damaged due to static, because they do have static wicks. I don't know how close I can get, but you can see. Can you see the static wicks on the back of the wingtip fence there? There are static wicks all over the aircraft, which basically channel the energy away from the aircraft, or and they're actually designed to be destroyed. And I'm wondering whether there's a possibility that that particular wing fence was destroyed as a result of some static electricity. Jerry, are the engine casings on the inboard engines bigger than the outboards due to the reverser mechanisms? I don't know. I don't think so, because you would want to keep the dynamics of the engines the same, wouldn't you? But I know what you're saying. Outboard engines obviously don't have reversers, so therefore they're much lighter. But in terms of it might be just the optical illusion that you're getting now, because we're seeing the outboard one almost head on, whereas we're seeing an angle of the inboard one. But I think you'll find that the outer casing diameter will be identical. Should be anyway. You wouldn't expect to see larger engines. Rooney, can't believe how many departures we filmed yesterday. Yeah, it was a good day yesterday, mate. Great show from the courtyard. Always a good show from the courtyard. So noisy and loud, and always with those 767s lining up, the old A330s. Got the A300 with DHL, of course, A380s, and all the other stuff in between it. Those big XWB engines that make a thud when they start, man. Just a brilliant position there, and some great footage. Um, Gilly, who was the SFO that was on standby that might be operating this jet today? Thing is that when I go up on top there, I'm going to have to walk forward and see, and then walk down the stairs. I'm going to try and see if I can go on um, the lower deck so I can say hello to the crew, or it's either that or get on early, get my bag, get my seat all sorted out, and then walk to the front and see how receptive. Got to be. Oh, it was Tom, wasn't it? Yeah, there we go. Um, the thing is that sometimes the crew are quite busy, obviously, so they haven't got time to sort of like give you preference or anything like that. Not that I want preference, but when sometimes you might get some. Oh yeah, hello Jerry. Yeah, yeah, no problem at all. Let me just go and see if they're okay for you to come up the front, because I always like to ask first. I don't just go barging in there. I always like to ask so that I'm not disturbing anyone, because obviously the cabin crew are very busy at the time. APU now running on this jet, as you can see, they fired up the APU, so they would potentially be able to disconnect the ground power unit. Okay, Roger Slater. Yes, it is the Brunei 747 private flight in for a spot of shopping. Royal Brunei, possibly delegation or something like that. I don't know. Fan man, yes, on the top deck. Are you allowed to go to the other deck when in flight? Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want to have a walk round, I mean, I'm guessing if you walk the entire length of the top deck, and then went down the stairs and walked they don't have. I don't think they've got the same circular stairs at the back of the 380 on BA as they do with Emirates. I think they've just got the normal, almost big. It's a big giant staircase at the front of the front of the 380 on the and then you've got that little step up into the flight deck as well, which is kind of crazy. If you want to know what I'm talking about, then just go. And is that someone doing a walk around there? It's one of the yeah, that's the probably the first officer doing the walk around, I would have thought. Yeah. Oh, I don't know though. First officer is in his seat. So this may be a backup pilot. I don't know. It's a procedure. Check the fan blades. Have a look underneath. Make sure there's no leaks. Checking the leading edge of the wing, making sure that all the slats are in nicely aligned and nothing's out of alignment. Always remember, interestingly enough, one of the folks who worked for Cargo Logic, I think it was, talking about the no, it wasn't him actually, it might have been someone else, talking about the pins, the locator pins on the engine pylons, and it's a visible sort of notch which you can see if it's moved, if the engine pylon has in any way moved or the engine mounts have shifted, then you can quite clearly see that it's walking all the way out to the tip there. But it's a visual thing, isn't it? Because these aircraft are so built like brick WCs that it is literally just a visual that you're looking at. Now you're going to walk around the back. Is he going to walk around the back and have a look underneath the aircrafts here? Listen to that amazing auxiliary power system running in there. He's just having a look at the braking system, making sure there's nothing untoward in the undercarriage bay there. No stowaways. Good luck fetching that Windows sheet. Thank you, John. Lana Q, kick the tires. Yeah. You just sort of like also looking at the wear pins. Sometimes the wear pins, you can see the wear pins on the brake systems where you literally, it's like a depth rod which shows you the amount of wear on the very loud where he's walking now, man, out there at the back. This going on at the back. Love that sound. It's another jet engine in the back of that aeroplane, folks. It's running at the moment. Yes, Aidan Campbell, Rolls-Royce Trent 900s on all of the BA 380 fleet. So yeah, obviously looking for anything that's sort of like untoward, that doesn't look right, any leaks, that kind of thing. Still quite some way off, I think, boarding. Yeah, what I'm talking about with the wear pins, I'm basically talking about the brake pad wear. So you can visually see, I mean, you can almost see the brakes, see the caliper system on the inside of the wheel hub there. You can see the pistons, and there's a lot of them. That's why somebody made a point, like the crazy braking power of the A380's braking system, which is why when they originally designed this aircraft, they originally designed it with no engine reversers. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But because they were so sure that the aircraft was fully capable of braking under its own wheel braking power. It didn't actually need reversers, but it turns out that the customers, the airlines themselves or the lease companies all got together and basically said, no, we would rather we had some engine reversers, just as a sort of like, a feel good factor, a bit of a backup, or a redundancy in case we get some serious brake failure. Because of course, the only electrical braking system that you'll find these days, I think, is certainly on the big jets, is the 787 Dreamliner. Other than that, this is all hydraulic power. And of course, we were discussing yesterday as well, no brakes on the front wheels. No braking on the front wheels. That's just brushes that they use there. Okay. I think I'm going to go, folks. I don't know if my flight is boarding or not. Let's just have a little look. Hold on a minute. Oh, boarding C64. Right. Okay. It's boarding. Right, folks. Take it easy, and I'll see you later. All the best. See you in Miami. Cheers. Bye. How do I go off this thing?